So let's talk a little bit about kind of just some basic controls before we get going, because I want to make sure that I don't start interacting with the game and people are like, what the heck? You move around your fortress with the arrow keys. You go up to go up, you go down to go down, you go left and right. Just like that, that's fine. You can hold down shift to go faster and kind of look about. And I'm a little perturbed to see that it doesn't look like this place was supposed to be heavily... There was supposed to be a lot of foliage here, but there doesn't seem to be. There are like no bushes and stuff, but that's fine. We can get going, and if in the next stream I find that I do actually want a place with bushes, we can start again and catch up what we've done pretty fast. If you lose track of where the dwarves are, if you just go off on like a little journey, and lose track, you. People are giving tips in the chat. I'm gonna get to terrain levels in a second. I want to just I'm starting slow. If you get lost, you can push F1 or on some computers FN F1 to return to the wagon. This is great because you'll sometimes just go wandering off, or the game will take your control somewhere, and you'll want to head back to the wagon again. Perhaps the most useful starter button that you're going to want to commit to memory in Dwarf Fortress. Oh, firstly, you don't need to worry about committing any of this stuff to memory. None of it is mandatory. You'll always be able to either look at the stuff on the right or the really great resources that are available online. But one thing you probably should remember is K. And what K does is it lets you look directly under your cursor. So for example, we can go over here and see that this is snow-covered grass. And yeah, that's why we're not really seeing any foliage right now, because it's all covered in snow. I think it's, we're in spring right now, but it is snowing. That's a great sign. That's fantastic. We do have little patches of grass here, dense cloudberry flowers. Over here we have our dwarves that you can see. We have 7 dwarves. Over here we have Bear Ilrelotung, a miner. We have Adil Thobatek, a woodcutter. We have Geshud Domsim Keskel, a fisher dwarf. We have Momas Ozul Mamot, and they're the expedition leaders, so they're in charge here. We have Zaneg Nishrodim, jeweler. We have a camel. We have Ingiz Zokunvad, a woodworker. Up here we have what looks like some kind of a yak or something. Oh, it's a water buffalo. Amazing. You really don't know what you're going to get. First time I played Dwarf Fortress, it was just like, do you want 2 cows and some cats? And I was like, this seems normal. Great. That's how Dwarf Fortress is played. And then in the second game, they were like, a camel, a peahen, many different animals. So that was kind of cool. This little circle up here that you can see up here is usually like a colony of some kind. It's bees! Yes! Bees. Bees are great, because like a bazillion streams from now, when we have an incredible fortress and everyone who wants to can play Dwarf Fortress, we can start beekeeping, which is very cool. Cat used to do some beekeeping, which is one of the many cool things that they've done in the past. Let me check my notes again. So we've done looking around with the arrow keys. We've done moving faster with shift. We've done looking under your cursor with K. Oh, here we go. Right. Here is a thing about Dwarf Fortress that I think puts a lot of people off, which is that in a game about mining and digging, depth is kind of weirdly communicated in Dwarf Fortress. So I want to go really quickly and simply over how depth works. You're looking at the world right now as a kind of an MRI scan, almost like a slice has been taken out of the world. In fact, here you can see a walnut tree trunk. This is patently not a walnut tree. What we're looking is as though everything has been sliced off except at this level of the world, where we can see these tree trunks. We can push shift and then the left triangular bracket and the right triangular bracket, like the bigger and smaller signs, to go down and up. You would think that the triangular bracket pointing right would make you go up, because that's kind of the direction that in English we read sentences, towards kind of upwards. That is not the case. You want to push the left one to go up, and when I do this, you will probably see, oh, this is cool every time I see it. So what we're looking at now is we're looking at the canopies of those walnut trees that I was looking at earlier. Do you see they have trunks, they have bits going on, they have bits and pieces. We can go up again and see the structure of these trees. In fact, what we can see here is that okay, so this red thing on the left, this dark space, is we're looking kind of inside a mountain. But if we go up a Z level, if we rise up into the sky, we can see that on top of kind of I'm going to use the cursor as a pointer. On top of kind of this bit of mountain, we can see that the trees grow. So what we're essentially talking about is an entrance to a fortress surrounded by trees, which is very beautiful. We can also go down, and we won't really notice anything. It's earth down there, you know? There's earth down there. So that's Z levels. Moving around with the arrow keys. Using shift to move faster. You move exactly 10 squares when you hold down shift, which is useful when you want to build, 10 by 10 rooms or whatever, if we're going to want to do that later. And you can push K to look at anything under your kind of gold cursor. The other thing that I will say is when you see these arrows like this, what you're looking at are kind of upwards. Wow, someone is making a big noise with their car. You're looking at kind of upward slopes. So the mountain slopes upward slightly as we go there. Okay, so I think the next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to meet the team. We have, we've encountered the dwarves' names a little, but we're going to want to get to know them just a little bit better. All of this is mostly for narrative stuff. We could go straight ahead and start playing with the various bits and pieces now, but let's meet the team. We're going to want to do that by hitting V, which is V for View Units. I don't know why they pick V instead of U, but that's fine. That's not even the button I wanted. I think I wanted this button. Yes, okay. We're pushing U. We're pushing U instead of V. We are pushing U. The unit list. Here we go. Okay, so these are our 7 dwarves. Ilrelotung, Ingiz Zokunovat, Adil Thobatek, Zan Talakol, Zaneg Nishradim, Momas Ozul Mamut, our leader, and Geshad Dosim Keskal, a fisher dwarf. We can see that they kind of have jobs assigned to them already. This is based on things that they're kind of pretty good at. But we can make them do other stuff. And in fact, here's where there's an opportunity to say something kind of important. In Dwarf Fortress, you do not directly control dwarves. At basically any point. We are not playing as the dwarves. We're playing as a kind of overseer who suggests things to the dwarves. And the dwarves are like, yeah, alright. Okay, I'll give that a go. Or, more often, I am too busy doing something interesting over here. So when we talk about assignations and jobs and things, we're talking about it in a very broad sense of just like, what are the dwarves doing? We can push Z on this screen to go look at the dwarf. But what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to push V to learn. Let's start with our expedition leader. So I'm using the up and down keys here to go learn about Moma's Uzul Mammoth. I'm going to push a V to view unit. Now, all we know right now is that Moma's owns 14 objects, and those are probably the clothes that they are wearing. But we're going to hit enter, and this is going to be a little overwhelming. Oh, wow. So at the top of the screen, you can see Moma's Ozul Mammoth, Moma's oiled plated. So oiled plated is the translation of their surname. we can hit enter, and we can start learning about these. Wow, holy shit. Okay, so she begins by saying, how can someone be so consumed by hate? Great opener, moments. She's a worshipper of Moldath, the Ochre Beak. She is a citizen of the Mechanisms of Owning. She is a member of the Channel of Labor. God, same. She is the expedition leader of the... We're the Channel of Labor? Austin, we're the Channel of Labor. She arrived at Gadachim on the 15th of Granite in the year 125. She is 80 years old. As far as I can tell, this isn't super old for a dwarf. Born on the 4th of Opal in the year 45. She has a broad body with almost no fat on it. Her eyebrows are incredibly high. Her nose is hooked. Her extremely tall ears have large hanging lobes. Her very long hair is tied in a Her very long hair is tied in a ponytail. Her lips are very thin. Her slightly close-set ochre eyes are slightly sunken. Her hair is light brown. Her peach skin is slightly wrinkled. She is indefatigable and incredibly quick to heal. Moma's Ulzulmamot likes hornblende, gold, brown zircon, pearwood, wood, honey badger, leather, giant mountain goat horn, linen fabric, the color tan, crossbows, barrels, geese for their formation flying, spiny dogfish for their dorsal spines, the sound of the lacy wisp and the sight of the wondrous fragrances. When possible, she prefers to consume sole and sweet potato wine. She absolutely detests rats. She has an iron will, a good memory, and a good feel for social relationships, but she has little linguistic ability. Like others in her culture, she holds crafts dwarfship to be of the highest ideals, and celebrates talented artisans and their masterworks. Has a great deal of respect for the law, greatly prizes loyalty, really respects those that take the time to master a skill, deeply respects those that work hard at their labors, values family greatly, sees friendship as one of the finer things in life, believes that honesty is a high ideal, greatly respects artists and their works, finds merrymaking and partying worthwhile activities, respects fair dealing and fair play, values cooperation, values leisure time, respects commerce, values knowledge, and finds nature somewhat disturbing. She personally disregards tradition, and does not really value skills related to fighting. She dreams of mastering a skill. She never feels tempted to overindulge in anything. She never falls in love, or develops positive feelings towards anything. She eschews practical concerns for philosophical discussion, puzzles, riddles, and the world of ideas. She dislikes obligations and will try to avoid being bound by them, though she is conflicted by this for more than one reason. She is sloppy with her living space, she is unfriendly and disagreeable, and she is bothered by this, since she values friendship. She has an overbearing personality. She does not often feel lustful. She isn't particularly ambitious. She takes offered help and gifts without feeling particularly grateful. She tends to hang on to grievances. She is not particularly interested in what others think of her. She can sometimes act without deliberation. She does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. When she's thinking, her body becomes very still. She needs alcohol to get through the working day. She likes working outdoors and grumbles only mildly at inclement weather. Overall, Momas is untroubled by unmet needs. And then we learn roughly kind of what she's up to, whether or not she's been distracted by anything. This is kind of like what has been affecting her recently. And most importantly, we learn that she is a short, sturdy creature full of drink and industry. Now, I feel like it's important to say at this point that there is a sort of person, and I think I am that sort of person, who when they started playing Dwarf Fortress without really knowing what was going to be involved, saw a screen like this and thought, oh my god, I have to remember all of this for all these dwarves. This is cool as hell and I have to keep it in my head. Believe me, you don't. Some of the stuff on this screen is completely mechanically meaningless. Doesn't mean it's meaningless, it is mechanically meaningless. Some of it is mechanically meaningful, but not so mechanically meaningful that we need to deal with it right now. What this screen is mostly good for is just learning some great facts about our dwarves. Like this woman, this expedition leader with incredibly high eyebrows who loves the flight of geese and who, when thinking, sits extremely still. That's incredible. And we have this for fucking everybody. I'm not going to read through all of the stuff for everybody, but I kind of want to go through and see a bit like who we have. So I'm pushing escape to back out of these. Let's go up to bear Irrelatung. Pushing V to look at view unit, and then enter to view thoughts and preferences. An artisan, their materials and the tool that shape them. She is rarely sick, she's slow to heal, she has bad intuition, she dreams of raising a family. What does she like? She likes toad men for their beauty. Fine. She likes crossbows too. She can bomb with the expedition leader after liking crossbows. When she's bored, she scratches her nose. We have Ingiz. Oops, I pushed enter instead of V. There is nothing so important that it is worth telling a lie. Damn, we got Ingiz who loves honesty. He likes snowy owlmen for their coloration. Okay, he likes clear glass. He likes a little excitement now and then. Same. I'm drinking ginger ale. Let's look at one more of these. Let's look at our fisher dwarf, Geisha Dosim Keskar. View, V, enter. The quest for knowledge never ends. Ah, fuck, we got a fucking 2006 JRPG character here. Let's see. What have we got? She dreams of raising a family. She likes alpaca's jutting teeth. And she likes ticks for their... Gosh, Geshen Weishut. Now, you like ticks for their ability to expand. Could you please... No, don't explain this. Please don't explain this. She finds nature somewhat disturbing. No shit, Geshen, you're out there watching ticks expand. She, oh yeah. Well, that's good. It's good to know, I guess. So let's back out. I'm pushing escape. But now I actually want to show you a bit more about these dwarves. And the way I'm going to do that is with a third-party kind of plugin. Now, the thought of using a third-party plugin to play another game is kind of overwhelming and intense. But again, don't think of this as you know, having to go and speak to an advisor. Think of this as, you know, just an extension of using Wikipedia or checking a manual or asking a friend, hey, how can I sort that out a bit quicker? Oh, we should real quick, actually, we should just, I'm pushing U, the button that I thought I was going to push before. And I'm going to push tab to go over to pets livestock. No, I'm not. I'm going to push right to go over to pets livestock. So we can see the animals we have here. We have a two-humped camel. We have a water buffalo cow. We have 2 stray cats. We have 2 stray dogs. I'm also going to go over to others, which will let us see some other stuff that is here. Like these 5 ravens and this skunk. The animal crew has showed up. It's 5 ravens and a skunk. They're like, oh shit, dwarves. Wow. What are these dwarves doing here?